Today, I'm going to share with you 3 skills that successful African entrepreneurs master in order to stand out from the pack. And to level set on definition, the skill is the ability to do something, which implies that you and I could master any of those skills if we work at it. Hey, what's up? My name is Aries and welcome to Diaspora Achievers. In this channel, I take the African diaspora on a journey to creating businesses that contribute to the development of the continent, changes the African narrative around the world or wherever you're at, and 3, allow you to become truly financially free. So if you're new here and want to be part of this journey, here's your first 2 steps. Number 1, click on the subscribe button below and hit on the notification bell so that you never miss any video I release that will help you succeed building Africa. And number 2, look at the description bar below and get a free copy of the ebook that I put together for you that contains the top obstacles that Africans in the diaspora face when building businesses, either over here in the diaspora or back home. Number 2, the reasons why entrepreneurship and building businesses is the best tool that we have available to us to impact Africa and Africans. And number 3, I share with you the top ways you and I can go out and change the African narrative right away. Click down below, get a copy of your copy of the ebook, and let's get into it. So after studying successful African entrepreneurs, I realized that there are 3 skills that they do all have in common. My favorite is the second one, and let me know which one yours is. The first one, and a very important one, is the ability to sell and persuade. So you need those skills to obviously sell your product or service to your customer. You need that skill to be able to attract and sell investors. Say if you were to need money to grow or even to get started, let's just say, for example, even your family members, you need the ability to sell and to persuade your business, your product, your idea to them. And number 3, you need the ability to sell and persuade if you want to attract employees, if you want to attract great talent, or if you want to retain them. Why should they not go to your competitor, for example? The biggest mistake, however, that most make is that first and foremost, they talk about themselves. They talk about how great they are, how great their product is, how great their company is. The question, if I were to give you one tip or maybe one advice, the one thing you always need to remember is what's in it for them. What's in it for the investor? What's in it for the employee? What's in it for your client? What are they going to gain out of it? So always look at it from their perspective and don't really sell the technicality, the specs, or the specifics or specifications, rather of the product or service, but sell the benefit to them. I'll share with you a story that I had heard a couple years ago. Let's just say you are selling a drill, for example, right? You are not going to sell the quality of the drill, how solid it is, or whatever specification the drill has. Your client doesn't really care so much about the drill. They care more so about the hole, right? Let's just say they wanted to hang a frame, or they wanted to hang a piece of painting on their wall. Their focus is to have the hole so they can have the piece of painting or whatever they're trying to pose on the wall. So that's essentially what you need to sell. So what's in it for them? The second important skill that successful African entrepreneurs have is the ability to focus. And really by focusing here, I mean being resilient and being consistent, right? There is a lot of distraction, and as entrepreneurs or as a creative person, you might have what's called the shiny object syndrome, right? You always look at the next best thing. You always look at the next opportunity, which may be a good opportunity, but really what you want to focus here is, what am I going after? Let me push it to the fullest and let me not get distracted. The ability to focus, the ability to be consistent is really a big deal. So let me just give you an example or maybe a question, because I see a bunch of you guys out there probably thinking of saying stuff like, oh, you have to be able to multitask. Sure. How well can you drive 2 different cars, right? Let's just say you're trying to get to one location Would it be best for you to get one car and go all the way versus or drive two cars at the same time, right? So if you drive two cars at the same time, you will essentially be driving, for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, then coming back into the other one, right? I hope you get what I'm trying to say anyways, right? Now in terms of focus, something that I found super, super helpful, but being really practical again, is really turning your phone off, right? You turn your phone off, you put it away, you kind of hide it. Let's just say you want to focus and get something done for about an hour or 2 hours, you put it away, because with distractions, social media, notifications, WhatsApp, text messaging, all that stuff, by the fact that you have the phone right next to you, even if there's no notification, you may be tempted. Me, for example, if I'm working on something and there's a piece of information that I'm looking for, I would want to get everything about it right there and then. And I don't know about you, but sometimes you may go on YouTube or you may go on Google, start looking for something, and then you click on something else, and 20 minutes later, you completely lost your focus. So that's the good one, to turn your phone off or put it away, in another room or something. And the second one, which is pretty good, is a tool called Freedom, I believe. I can link in the description box. That tool is super dope because it basically cuts out all the internet access, right? So you basically on the browser, you can, kill and cancel all the other sites. So essentially all internet access. And if you want to focus on one site only, let's just say you want to go on NBA.com, for example, right? You can have an exception that say for the hour or for however long you decide to implement it, only give me access to NBA.com, right? So long story short, ability to focus is a big, big deal, and ability to be consistent as well, right? Being consistent, for example, especially today, that's one of the criteria, in my humble opinion, that will delineate or separate the guys who are really committed to the guys who are maybe not tire kickers, but who are really, not that committed, right? Being focused, being resilient, being consistent. And the third one, which is a big one as well, is the ability to learn how to solve problems, right? This is pretty much what life is all about. Any aspect of your life, is about solving problems. Personal life, professional life, your health, your wealth, anything and everything is about solving problems. You want to get to the next level, you got to solve problems. You want to do whatever, you have a problem to solve. It may be a high or small, but really the quickest and the more efficient you become at it, the more successful you would be in all aspects of your life. There are two things here that I want to add. In order for you to be able to be a great person at solving a problem, you need to be able to be willing to learn. And then by you being willing to learn, it implies that you are humble or you're willing to accept that you don't know. Therefore, there is some humility that you need to digest, and then you need to work on in order to be able to learn. Now, the other piece too is around ability to pose questions, right? You need to figure out what are the right questions to pose depending on where you are in your cycle or depending on where you are. So you need to pose the right question and not be worried that your question is not going to be spot or whatever the case may be, right? So those are two good things: posing great questions and really important willingness to learn and willingness to be humble. Now over to you. Which one of those three skill set you think is great to be able to strive in an African environment business-wise? Is there one that I had forgotten, or is there one you want to add to it? And then the other thing that you want to do as well is go ahead and share this video to as many people as possible, but more importantly, those who really want to impact Africa positively, right? Go ahead and share it with them. And last but not least, go ahead and like this video just to inform and to let YouTube know that we need more content for the African community. Peace.